Good morning. Thanks for being here with me today. I hope your Monday is off to a fantastic start. There is so much going on. I am going to share my screen and we are going to just dig in right away. And feel free to drop a hello or a comment in the chat. I did open it up for everybody, so you can chat with me. You can chat with other participants as well. What is going on in real estate right now? Well, a lot. And I think one of the most interesting things, there are so many interesting things, but here's something that happened that we were all gearing up for the new one-to-one consent with the TCPA, and on Friday, it got postponed a year. So it was supposed to go into effect. It was postponed a year. And then literally hours later, an 11th Circuit Court judge struck down the rule. And so all this frenzy, especially in the real estate community, especially as of the past couple months, for that one-to-one consent for texting, the rule was dismantled at the 11th hour by the 11th Circuit Court judge. So we no longer are at the moment having to gear up for TCPA compliance. Now, if you already did, or if your systems and your CRMs and stuff already put those processes in place, great. You're just now ensuring that you're working, above board. But that requirement is no longer in effect. So I thought that was definitely worth sharing. It all just went down really quickly, and that just seems to be real estate and the world right now and everything that's going on. I've been talking a lot about Bitcoin and how I believe this year especially we will see loan products come in to collateralize Bitcoin. And how many of you have heard of Proppy? They are a title company, and one of the things that they're doing now is Bitcoin-backed loans, which is definitely interesting. It is a one-to-one collateralization. I talked a few podcasts ago or a few coaching calls ago about People's Reserve. They're also doing a one-to-one collateralization of Bitcoin that you can use to purchase a home. It's definitely really interesting, I think trendy. And if you're working with especially the younger community, crypto is on their hearts and their minds. And so if you're out there sharing this information and talking about it, I think you can really reel in an entire new audience for you and for what you do in real estate. So talk about this. It's definitely really interesting. It's fringe, it's brand new, but what I believe is that we're going to see this grow. One of the things I want to point out is the price of a home in Bitcoin. Maybe you've seen this graphic. It's kind of circulating all over social media, especially, Instagram, Twitter. You probably have seen it, but it's just very eye-opening to see that now the price of a home in Bitcoin for the median priced home is 4.3 Bitcoin. And we're likely going to see some changes in that over time. And one of the things that we're going to do with our home report is add in a Bitcoin calculator so that they can see what that home would trend in Bitcoin. So just really interesting to us. And I had talked about how I believe it's one of my 10 predictions for this year is we're going to see more of this. And so as it's developing, I am definitely going to be sure and bubble that up to you. Residential real estate is a very interesting scene at the moment, right? And what we know is that we're seeing signs of defrosting. I'm sure it can't come soon enough. And Warren Buffett in 2012, though, he made a comment on CNBC that he'd buy up a couple 100,000 single-family homes if he could, if there was a way to do it. And people were listening. And about that time, it was the birth of the single-family residence real estate investment trust, and they started just acquiring all of these homes and packaging them into portfolios and then going public. And what happened lately is the Wall Street Journal just broke this article saying that essentially the housing market is way overvalued. And their justification for that was these single family residence REITs and how their stocks, their publicly traded stocks, are trading at a discount to their net portfolio asset value. So for instance, Invitation Homes is trading at a 35% discount in relation to the value of all of the homes that they own. So pretty steep discount, if you ask me, and I was pretty surprised to dig into that and to see and go, okay, yeah, that actually is true. American Homes for Rent is also trading at a discount, not quite as steep as Invitation Homes. They're trading at a 20% discount. Now, what do I think on this? I don't think that this is a signal that the entire housing stock is overvalued. I think they're taking a microcosm of the market and turning it into the narrative that they would like the narrative to be, and that's, oh, the housing market's way overvalued. What I think is happening is these REITs, because there's been so much multifamily that's come onto the market, these REITs that specialize in single family residences are actually, their cap rates are a little depressed. And because of that, we're not seeing the investment in them as we did a few years ago. Also, there's just better opportunities for money right now. So for instance, look at the crypto market, look at gold, look at all of the other assets that are doing very well, except NVIDIA. We won't talk about NVIDIA at the moment because the whole deep sea thing is really freaking out the market. And I think too soon to tell what that's going to do. But the takeaway, though, on these single family REITs, and I share this again and again because I think that they often get blamed for a lot of the housing crisis and maybe the lack of housing, the lack of affordability, and they get blamed for it. But if you look at how many homes they own in relation to how many single family rentals are owned by mom and pop landlords, it's pretty startling. There is a pie chart for you to kind of take a glance at, and you can see that the percentage of ownership from these single family rental owners, the institutional ones, is relatively small compared to the ownership by just your typical mom and pop landlord. Now, these stocks aren't the only stocks that are very overvalued right now. Real estate stocks in general are depressed. This was a post from Resi Club. They did an analysis of Zillow stock and of Open Door stock, and they said, hey, if you had put $100,000 into Zillow in February of 2022, it would only be worth now $40,397. And then they go on to say, Open Door, hold my beer. If you had invested $100,000 in Open Door, it would only be worth $4,134 today. And because OfferPad just is so near and dear to my heart, kidding. I wanted to show you OfferPads, which is even worse. Look at how devalued OfferPad stock is. If you had made a $100,000 investment in OfferPad when they went public in September of 2021, that would only be worth a measly $801 today. So real estate stocks in general are down. You can go through the list and kind of run the calculations yourself. I did it with EXP. You'll see that a lot of the real estate stocks are depressed. And we know that selling real estate has been a challenge over the past few years. There's an oversaturation of agents, not enough transactions to go around. Inman broke this news, I believe, at Inman Connect last week, which I wasn't there. If you were, how was it? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I haven't been to Inman in a couple years. Maybe I should go back. So what they reported was 71% of real estate agents didn't close any deals last year. Insane. Does this just speak to more of the agents at the top doing more of the business? Does this speak to the market? What exactly does it speak to? Probably a multitude of factors, but we do know that 2024 home sales, NAR just came out with the actual number. They were definitely given 90s vibes, and we ended 2024 with 4.06 million home sales. Really low, okay? So there's a few things that we need to really take into context here. So the lowest year prior to this was 1995, and you see the number on screen. In 1995, there were less, 3.85 million home sales. But look at population. Look at how much the population has grown since 1995. And to have only 4.06 million home sales it's insane, and less to go around. And so the fact that many folks didn't sell any real estate last year, I don't know if is entirely their fault to blame. Now, I always hate to blame the market because I believe the market's the market and we get to control our market share. But look at population. It has grown by over 70 million people since then since 1995. And we also are seeing signs that the lock-in effect is losing a little bit of steam. So look at what's happening every year that's just causing life change, that's causing folks to sell. So if you're wanting to get listings, these are your most likely folks, people that are having a life change. So 3.5 million new babies born every year. 1.5 million marriages, 700,000 divorces. Sadly, 3.5 million baby boomers are turning 65, so maybe having a life change, maybe downsizing, maybe going into a different type of living scenario. 2 million deaths, so lots of probate happening out there. 25 million job switches. And because of this, people are starting to move. We're seeing it in the data. We're seeing people let go of their very low interest rates and trade up to something else. Here was the percentage share of mortgages. This was the latest report by the FHFA, and this was Q3 of 2024. And we're already seeing the percentage of the sub 5% interest rates, sub 4% interest rates, sub 3% interest rates decrease. And so as that happens, we're going to see more people with a 6% plus, and we'll track this over time so we can have an idea of how that's shifting and changing. The takeaway, though, is that for some folks, it's not enough to keep them in their home with that low interest rate. So that lock-in effect is starting to lose steam. Here's something else that would definitely improve the situation regarding housing, and that's if we could see some relief from mortgage interest rates. Now, historically, mortgage interest rates aren't that high, but when you couple it with our home prices, we know that affordability is really tough. And so because of that, what we're saying is President Trump putting pressure on the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. He said at the Davos conference in Switzerland that I'll demand interest rates drop immediately. And likewise, they should be dropping all over the world. So he made those comments. We do know that the Fed meets this week, but from everything that I've researched, there's pretty much a zero chance. The market's not pricing in any rate cut. They're basically pricing in like no chance that a rate cut happens. So it'll be really super interesting. What do you think? Do you think that there's going to be a rate cut? It would be this Wednesday. We would hear news of it because the Fed is meeting this week. I think that a multitude of economic factors could occur that would cause a rate cut to happen. I just don't know if we're going to see that this week or if it's going to be the next cycle. And also, just thinking through this would be great content for you to go and share with your people, with your reach, and scale out this message. Because what I do know is that a lot of folks are looking at what's happening in real estate. They're looking at what's happening with the new administration, even the new executive order aimed at housing affordability. And they're asking themselves, what does this mean for me? And should I wait until these things unfold to make a move? And I think that if you're out there and you're having these conversations and you're bringing this to the surface, they're automatically going to think of you as the leader and the expert in real estate. So this would be a great article to make a green screen video on Instagram and post that to Instagram, Facebook. You could even download it and throw it on YouTube as a short, throw it on TikTok, all the things, but I think it would be an excellent video to make. Why is it so important that we spur housing? Well, it's a leader in economic activity, and I always love to look at the economic impact of just one home sale. It's absolutely insane, $124,000. And so we are kidding ourselves if we don't think that home sale velocity needs to increase in order for real estate or in order for the economy to truly pick up. We also know that homeowners enjoy a much greater net worth than renters. This is so powerful, guys. I think, again, when we talk about sharing our message to the marketplace, we gotta get excited again about what real estate is and what it can do for people, and it is transformative when it comes to building wealth. So the average net worth of a homeowner compared to a renter, 41 times greater, absolutely insane. And I'm gonna share with you in just a few moments 3 Easter eggs that are hidden inside your Zoodealio platform that you may or may not have known existed. And I'm also going to share with you 3 things that you can do this week to really kickstart and jump into the year. I mean, jump into the year. We're almost through January. Can you believe it? Almost 1 month is gone. But to really give momentum to your business and maybe be just some positive things that you can focus on, because there is a ton going on, and how we reconcile that oftentimes is a bit of mental gymnastics. So interest rates They're still high, but we did see purchase applications. Technically, they were highest in a year, but just ever so slightly. So this is from Mortgage Daily News, and they aggregate the data from Mortgage Bankers Association, and you can see on the chart there that they're just ever so slightly up, not super meaningful as far as that volume, but we did see more purchase applications, which is good news. I mean, this is trending in the right direction. We want to see this go up, and by all accounts, up is kind of like the only way we can go because purchase activity has just flatlined. So really going to be interesting to keep our eye on what mortgage applications do and how that relates to your market. What are you seeing? I always talk about how all real estate is so hyper local, and you can have just micro markets that are just still doing very, very well. And then you can have markets that aren't doing so well. And one thing I always, just selling real estate for so long, I always look at how Lennar Homes is compensating buyer brokers and their commission to kind of get a pulse on the market. Because see, here's the reality: when when the market is fantastic and when homes are selling with ease, Lennar will typically scale back that offering to the buyer broker. So for instance, I sold in 2004, 2005, 2006, and at that time, there were Lennar communities that weren't paying anything. Like they just said, sorry, realtors, we're not paying you anything. We're not going to co-broke at all. And then, you get to leaner times, and I saw this occur in 2012, 2013, where all of a sudden Lennar is offering these big co-brokes, and I'm seeing them again in the Phoenix market. One of my agents just sold a Lennar home, and they were offering a 5% co-broke. So look to Lennar at times to see how that micro market is performing, because it seems like they base what they offer for compensation on that. I want to share with you the top 10 cash offer markets for the week ending Friday, January 24th. As we mentioned, we are publishing this data in conjunction with BAM. And so I'm just going to give it up to you as well. The number one cash offer market last week was Las Vegas. And these are based on total offer requests. So the most amount of offer requests came out of Las Vegas, Nevada last week. Number two was Jacksonville. Then we had Tampa, Atlanta, Marietta, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Orlando, Phoenix, and Dallas. So I'm starting to see a trend. We're starting to see many of the same states play out over and over. But it's always interesting to see the different markets as well, and how those come to be. So we're going to shift gears, and I'm going to show you just 3 things that are hidden inside your Zoodealio platform, and I want to make sure that everybody is aware of these and where to find them. So let me go ahead and pull up my Zoodealio account right now and show you these 3 little hidden Easter eggs. And while I'm pulling that up, I just also want to share with you that we are making some changes. And so you're going to see some pretty cool changes rolling out to your Zoodealio agent dashboard, especially in regards to the offers tab. And so I'm going to show you that as well here so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And of course, when we do make the changes, we'll do a release, we'll publish it from inside the Zoodealio platform as well. But just kind of want to give you heads up. You're going to see some big changes. And every time we do this, it is geared towards helping you with your workflows, with your productivity, with getting your cash offers quicker, with being able to really analyze and manage those clients easier. And so everything that we're doing, truly is aimed at that, and just helping you really easily understand the different offers at a glance, et cetera, all of that. Okay. So the first thing that I just want to make sure that we're all aware of is how you can access the PDFs to the different offer types. So you have your digital display, of course. The homeowner gets that offer dashboard, which is unique to them, where they get to see all of the different cash offers and options that are available for their home. Now, in addition to that, you can create a PDF of these different offers and options very easily. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to head over to our client tab. And I'm just going to click on the Kayla test property. And now what we're gonna do, I'm inside this client details, and I mentioned to you that the offers tab is gonna get a complete revamp here soon. You'll see that here soon. But to grab the PDFs of the offers right now at this moment, you're gonna click on the offer dashboard. And when you click on that offer dashboard, the offers are now going to load. And so for instance, if you want to grab the PDF to the Cash Plus offer, you're just going to come over here into view offer details, and then you're going to click the save offer button. Now, once you do that, what's going to happen is that PDF is going to download to your computer. So let me pull it up. It just downloaded, and let's see if I can get it in the screen for us. Yeah, okay, cool. There it is. So there is that PDF of the offer. It's gonna have pretty much all of the pertinent information that you need. It's gonna have a summary of the offer. It's going to have your contact information. There's a QR code that you can scan, and it'll directly bring you right into the offer dashboard for this particular client for their property. And it will also give a layout of how the offer works, so the different steps involved, that sort of thing. Some of the different frequently asked questions will also be brought up right here on the PDF as well. So want to make sure that you all know that this is kind of hidden. We're bringing it to the forefront when we redesign the offers tab. So shortly, and let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to go back into my dashboard because now I'm in the homeowner's offer dashboard. So I'm back into my client details page. And when I say we're redesigning the offers tab, if you look here where the different offers are, this will all change very soon, and it's going to look completely different. But the cool thing is getting those PDFs is going to be much easier. Right now it's kind of hidden. I'm calling it an Easter egg because you kind of have to find it. And we're going to bring that to the surface for you so that you can grab those easily and quickly. Okay, so that is one Easter egg for you in your dashboard. Now I'm going to show you another one. So we're going to go to our clients tab. So I click my clients tab, and we'll just use the same Kayla test client again. So if I click that little arrow, it's going to expand for me, and I'm going to be able to see the address, what the status of that is. Offers have been received. It's going to show you what the real value is, what the highest offer was, the last activity, kind of property details at a glance. And then you're also going to see here this little link. And I want to point this out because it's kind of hidden, and it's a really cool, handy tool for you. If you click that, it's going to be a link to the offer dashboard. And then also, if you click those three little dots, you're going to be able to get the offers dashboard QR code, and there it is. You can download it. I suppose you could screenshot it, but you can download that, and there you have it. Another neat feature is if you wanted to download a client list, you can do that, and when you download it, you can also include the QR code so that you have that as well. So if you're doing like mail merge or anything like that, it just really comes in handy. We're hearing some very cool use cases of agents that are using this with like geographical farming, demographical farming, and they're using it in mailing and postcards and that sort of thing. And so it's really cool to see that kind of playing out. And of course, we're trying to make it easier for you to get everything that you need so you can really scale up your message to the marketplace. All right. So then the last one that I just want to make sure that we're all aware of is you have access to integrations. And so you can set up integrations. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that if you have, let's say, a CRM, and you have all of your homeowners in a CRM, well, you can set up a Zapier to trigger all of those homeowners into Zoodealio, generate the cash offers, and then have it zap back to your CRM with the actual offer dashboard link. And so it sounds a little, maybe a little bit complicated. If your tech skills are on the lower side, we got you. We got you covered. Our support team can help you set up your Zapiers. You just need to have a Zapier account, and really easy to do that as well. So I'm going to show you where that's at. It's under your settings, it's under integrations, and then if you come over to your integrations, you're going to see we've got a few different integrations in here as well, but you can set up the Zapier, and it can just really help improve your workflows. So that's the 3 kind of like hidden little features with inside your Zoodealio platform. I'm going to switch gears to some cool stuff, action orientated things you can be doing now this week. Like, I believe that we're going to see the real estate market defrost quickly. I think that if you look back, did you sell during the pandemic? Were you selling real estate during the pandemic? Because if you were, what you'll probably remember is that when the pandemic first broke in March, it was like, after like a week or two, all of a sudden, like real estate just kind of like froze. And I can remember at the time, Opendoor and OfferPad just dumped their inventory. I mean, they dumped it. They discounted prices. They just got rid of it. And wouldn't you know, within about 30, 45 days, things just started crazy picking up steam. The faucet turned on. Buyers came out of the woodwork. Interest rates went just low and low and lower. And what we saw was just crazy scenarios, multiple offers. Probably not going to see that sort of heat this year, but I do think it's going to pick up. And the question is when it does, will you be ready? Are you planting the seeds now to set yourself up for success when things shift? Because you plant the seeds now and you're going to get business now too. You're going to do great now. But if you start planting these seeds now and you start really watering them and nurturing them, what's going to happen when the market starts to turn is you are going to have a ton of business. That is, if your systems are set up to scale. And so a few things that I want to point out today, 3 things. The first thing is, and let's see, I'm on the wrong tab here. Let me close these down. The first thing that I need you to do and absolutely be intentional about is auditing your inputs. And this is a powerful reason why this is so important. Okay, so there was research done from Northwestern University, and it was conducted on performance. And it revealed that sitting near someone who was a high performer could impact your performance. On the flip side, if you sat next to somebody who was a low performer or negative, that also impacted your performance, and it was even worse. Right? So this is crazy. This is research. And this doesn't just apply to sitting next to people. Here's what the research revealed. If you sat within 25 feet of a high performer, you got a bump. You got a 15% bump in your productivity, in your output. You were a better performer by 15%. But like on the flip, if you were within 25 feet of a low performer or a negative performer, I mean, we all know that agent that just constantly complains about everything, right? We all know who that is. And real estate's changed a lot. Like, not as many of us go into the office maybe as we once did, but think through your associations. Think through the people that you gather inspiration from, or maybe it's, maybe you're working independently a lot and it's been a tough market and we've had crazy commission changes. We've had all of these new forms, all of these new procedures. It seems like the whole world is changing. And if it could just be you, right? Maybe you need to get yourself out of a funk, because the reality is that if you're sitting next to that low performer, underperformer, it's going to have a 30% decrease on your productivity, which is insane. The takeaway is we are mirrors. We are mirrors, and the people with whom we surround ourselves with, they have the ability to lift us up or drag us down. And so I want you to truly audit your inputs, because you will become like the people you associate with. And if this means like getting yourself in the room with people that are doing the thing that you want to be doing, then that is exactly what you need to be doing. So I want to also just share that Zoodealio has started a leads program. It's called Seller Source. And we're doing exclusive webinars on this. So I'm not going to go too much into this today. I just want to just bring it to your attention and give you the information that you need if you're interested in learning more about this. We are doing 2 more webinars on it. We're doing one tomorrow at noon Arizona time, and then we're doing one on Thursday at 9 a.m. Arizona time. And so here's something that's really cool as well with their leads program is we're doing a private mastermind with the agents that are part of the lead program. And let me tell you that when I work alongside high performers, I do. And I surround myself with people that push me to be better than I am. And the reason I do that is because, not just because of the research and what we can see and what Kellogg research at Northwestern University revealed, but also because I can tangibly notice a difference when I work alongside people that are truly going after it, that have a can-do attitude, that believe the big things are possible. I was on a podcast last week and they asked me if there was one thing you could go back and tell your younger self as you started real estate, what would it be? And what I said is I would go back and I would say, think bigger. Like, we think so small, and in the realm of all things possible, we limit ourselves incredibly. And so what I would do if I could go back is I would think bigger. I'd have a big vision for your life. Dream big. I think that the moment you stop dreaming, the moment you stop having that vision, that is when we start to see that decay and death happen, in our soul. And so one of the things we're doing with Seller Source is that private mastermind to really lift each other up. And it's also a way for us to get very tactical with the people that are in the program so that we can ensure its success. So I'm going to drop in the chat right now 2 links for you. The first link is to the webinar. So if you're interested in attending the webinar, there it is. And the second link is the application to apply to be a part of Seller Source. We had an overwhelming response when we did the first webinar last week. It was absolutely insane. And we've had a ton of applicants. And so what we're doing is we're running the next 2 webinars, and then we're going to be processing the different applications based on the leads and the lead flow that we already have, and then pairing the agents to markets to kind of, see where there's still potentially a business need for agents to serve a market. So we'll be doing that, and then we'll be getting back to everybody by February 5th. I believe that's a Wednesday. So there's still time. There's still time for you to be a part of it. We definitely won't be oversaturating a market. We're definitely looking at the totality of business volume in that market and what makes sense. How many agents make sense for that market, because we want this to be really good and a success. So we don't want to oversaturate it. And we also want to work with the best, right? Like, I think that there's some questions in the application about you and your business and stuff. So just really share with us who you are and what you can offer, because we do truly want to work with the best. And like a little brag moment, because so I will say that we are attracting some really incredible realtors. And one of the things that we get to see is their marketing. So when one of you sells a home with one of our buyers, oftentimes we're the liaison for that. So oftentimes we're seeing a lot of the marketing that you're doing. And I can share with you that what we see is you guys are out there and you're doing things like, the virtual staging, you're doing things like making sure you get the floor plan. I'm seeing a lot of like Zillow Showcase, which I think that the Showcase 3D scans are incredible. And so we're seeing you do really robust marketing, especially digitally for the listings, which is really, really cool. And it looks like we got a hand raised here. So let me see if I can. So I don't want to go too much into it today because we're doing an exclusive webinar on it tomorrow. But essentially what the gist is that we have been asked for years to lead generate on behalf of you, right? And so members that come to Zoodealio are constantly asking us, can we just buy seller leads from you? Or do you have seller leads available, that sort of thing? And for years, we did not. And I would say that we were very intentional about when we wanted to start this program, and we didn't want to start it too soon or oversaturate it. And so we were very incredibly intentional about how we were doing it. So back in July, August, we ventured out to start that process and to really get the leads and start to see like, hey, what type of demand can we generate, all of that sort of thing. And then what we have now is leads throughout the country that need immediate distribution. And so we already have a ton of leads all across the country in many, many markets, and we need to partner with agents in those markets for the leads. There is a cost to be a part of the program, and the enrollment fee is $399. At this time, while we're in beta and while we're working closely with our lead partners, there will not be a per lead charge, or there will not be a monthly lead charge. There is a prerequisite though. You do need to have the home report on your Zoodealio account in order to be eligible for leads. One of the biggest reasons is because one of the buckets that we're generating leads from is homeowners that want to be added to the home report. So you got to have the home report. That is a $99 upgrade to your Zoodealio subscription. And there also will be a referral fee on the leads when you close it. So if you close it with a cash offer or you close it by listing it on the open market, we are charging a 30% referral fee. So that's a little bit about the lead program, just kind of like in a nutshell, giving you the very, very high level. Now, of course, attend one of the exclusive webinars on this because you're going to get a ton more information. We're going to show you how it works, etc. As I mentioned, we're doing a private mastermind. We really want to get tactical with you, and we really want this to be a huge success. So that's a little bit about Seller Source, and I thought it was a good time because when we look at how the people we surround ourselves can impact our productivity and impact our performance, I think is really telling that we got to put ourselves in the right rooms with the right people if we want to achieve incredible things. Okay, number 2, you gotta systemize your listing attraction. And what I mean by that is you gotta come up with the thing that you're going to do consistently over time to generate new listings, right? You gotta get new listings. And I really believe, it used to be that he who lists last was like the phrase, and now it's absolutely imperative. Like, you got to have listings. And so because of that, I believe in a system for listings. I don't believe in one-offs. I believe in taking a system and something that you will do consistently every single day in your business. And expired listings are a great way to get listings, because here, for instance, I pulled up Arizona Regional MLS, which is the MLS I am in. Since January 1, look at this, there have been 391 listings that have expired. Now, I didn't cross-reference this against the ones that had relisted, and I know that a lot of them probably already have, but the takeaway is that there is a fresh supply of people that have raised their hand to sell their home, have been unable to do so, and what we know based on the data is that 40% of them will go on to list with another agent within 30 days. And so I think that by going after expired listings and by creating an expired listing system, it's just a way we can work smarter and not harder, because these folks already want to sell their home. And so because of that, I think the cash offer value proposition just crushes it. We have had agents that use this exact same strategy that I'm going to share with you, and it is so simple, and it gets your phone to ring. And I'm all about getting the phone calls from that homeowner saying like, hey, I got this messaging, I'm interested. Can you come over and share with me what that is? And so the strategy is so simple. It's you take a copy of the MLS listing that expired. So I have one here in front of me just to show you how simple this is. And you print out the MLS sheet, and you're gonna circle in red where it says expired, right? Like, you're doing your research and you see that this home expired. And then you're gonna slap a sticky note on it that says that you have a cash offer available for them. And then you're gonna maybe throw your business card in here or include a cover letter, whatever you wanna do. And you're going to either mail it or hand deliver it to that home. And you will get the phone to ring. The last agent that I worked with on this strategy had like a 25% call rate, which is insane. And so you're gonna get people to call you, you're gonna go on listing appointments, then you're gonna show up, you're gonna bring your laptop or your iPad, you're gonna pull up that offer dashboard with those different cash offers. Maybe you even key in their address right then and there. However you want to play it, I'm hearing like different camps of individuals. There's some agents that say like, I don't want to show them that cash offer till I get there. And then there's others that will do a quick little screen grab of it and text it to them just to kind of tease them and let them know like, hey, I actually have this, it exists. So you get to choose how best to do that, but this will get your phone to ring, and it's something so simple, and you can repeat this day over day over day. If you have an assistant, you could have the assistant go out and drop these off. I think that the effectiveness of it is it's simple, and it piques curiosity. We're using specificity in our marketing because we're actually showing them the listing that expired. And what we know, again, 4 out of 10 sellers are going to relist with a different agent within 30 days. So if you strike while the iron is hot, you're going to get business, you're going to get listings, and you got to systematize this. This is not something that you're going to do for a week and a half and then stop. You have to commit. And when I talk about like committing to the process, I think that so few of us are truly able to do this. And it requires, again, I think that's where audit your inputs. It requires that circle of those people that are going to hold you accountable, that are achieving incredible things. And it's like, if you're going to show up and you're going to be around them, then by golly, you're going to do the thing that you need to do to achieve the success that they're having as well. So put yourself in the appropriate rooms. Okay, the third thing is I really want us all to be focusing on scaling out our message. There's so much going on right now. And we have this truly unique, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to share, to scale out a message. It's free on most platforms, right? Like you can still post to Instagram for free. You can still post to YouTube. You can still, for free. You can still post to Facebook for free. You can still post to LinkedIn for free. And, and sometimes I think that if it wasn't free, perhaps we'd take advantage of it more. Like because it's a free resource and we can publish content, do we not? Because we don't see it as valuable. So, and I want to show you just how easy it is to get inspiration from anywhere on creating content for your business. And of course, I'm going to give a cash offer spin because I really believe that the value proposition of that cash offer is irresistible to homeowners. So I was doing some research on keywords, and I love researching the sell my house keyword and the other different keyword strings that accompany sell my house because I think it's fascinating. You really get to get inside the psyche of that homeowner as they're sitting on Google and typing out the thing in relation to selling their home. And what we know is they want to sell fast. They want to sell for cash. Sell my house calculator was really up there as well. So those are kind of like your base keywords. But when I researched and started looking at maybe some of the more fringe keywords, you're not going to believe the one that gets typed into Google like all the time. At least I was surprised. Let me know if you're surprised by this as well, because I was super surprised. Okay, so here it is. So check that out. Every week in this demographic that I pulled for this keyword string, or this geographical area that I had pulled, I think it was like our top cash offer states. So it was like Arizona and like Nevada and Florida and Texas. And so the term prayer to Saint Joseph to sell my house was typed in 720 times a week. 720 people a week are going onto Google and they're looking for the prayer to Saint Joseph to sell their home. Like, this is crazy. And like, this just hit me as like a really cool content inspiration moment because like nobody else is really making content around this. And I think it's really funny too, because like I can tell when, maybe like Tom Ferry or Keeping Current Matters like drops like a cool new script, because then I can see like all the realtors on social media start making that script. Nobody is making content around this. Let me tell you, nobody. And it's very relevant. So I thought it would be kind of fun just to do a little video script showing how you could turn this into a pretty cool little video really quickly. It's pretty easy. Is it faith or fast cash? The stress-free way to sell your home. And the script is so simple. Did you know the phrase prayer to sell my home or prayer to St. Joseph to sell my home is Googled over 720 times a week? That's hundreds of people turning to faith for help selling their home fast. Don't get me wrong, faith is a powerful thing. And St. Joseph has been known to work miracles for homeowners, but let's be honest, sometimes you need more than a prayer, you need a plan. right? And what if there was another way to take the stress out of selling your home? With a cash offer, there's no waiting, no wondering, no burying statues in the yard, just a simple, straightforward way to sell your home fast and on your terms. So if you've been looking for an answer, I'd love to help, whether you need to sell quickly or just want to explore your options, let's chat, or feel free to enter your address on my site, kaylascashoffers.zoodealio.com, to see your live cash offers, and together we'll find the right solution for you. No statutes required. So I thought that was just like a fun way. I think content inspiration comes everywhere when you're looking for it. And I think it is our time to scale out our message to really serve our communities at a greater level. So I thought that was kind of just like a fun way to do it. I want to leave you with this. In your real estate business, in life, underperformers, they want a life of ease, comfortable. And middle performers, well, they want credit. They want to do things and they want to make sure they get the credit for it. But the winners want pressure. And I cannot think of a time in real estate where there's been more pressure for the winners to perform than now. And so thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate you guys. I will be on tomorrow's Seller Source webinar. So if you're on that, I'll see you again tomorrow. And just appreciate you all. Stay tuned. As I mentioned, we do have some really cool things that we're rolling out with Zoodealio. And we're just so glad that you're a part. So everybody have a fantastic week, and I'll see you tomorrow if you're on the Seller Source webinar. If not, I will be back with you not next Monday, but the Monday after that.